Oh,
Just
he's on
so
mics.
Oh,
Live by
echo.
Yeah, I can never be a singer. Like you get on stage and
Today, the
and
University of Pittsburgh Panthers women's college
All right,
basketball
well, we're
players with
going
their
to
head
start
coach
off
was
this morning with
on
Tori Birdie,
I
head
didn't
coach
know
of
why.
Pitt,
was
singing for us.
was
We're
at
going
the
to have
podium on
the
stage
2025
in the
ACC
press conference, I guess.
tip-off Q&A. Head coach Tony Birdie, Michaela Johnson on the end, and a Mia Jackson. I'm sorry, Jenkins in the middle. The singing's got me thrown, Tori.
No, I just was saying, I could never, especially, I mean, I could not go in front of everyone and sing. No, that's like a phobia.
Just look at me, Tori, right now. Give me your go-to
No,
karaoke.
I can't do that. I can't even do that. Stage fright.
Okay. Well, you definitely don't have stage fright on the sideline. A year ago, Pitt had the second most ACC wins since joining the league. You returned 4 players, and you bring in 3 transfers and 7 freshmen.
Yeah.
Any new gray hairs with 7 freshmen on the roster?
They're plenty, but they've been fabulous. I mean, great addition to what we have. I think just our team chemistry alone is night and day. As we continue to grow the program, but getting in the gym, not only with the 2 to my left, but the other 12 back at home, it's just fun and it's exciting. We have an unbelievable competitive spirit, and we compete each and every single day. So we're growing as a team, but we're having a lot of fun while we're working each and every single day.
So, give me the early thoughts. I mean, any similarities to the style that we saw on the floor last year? Any major differences?
Yeah, I think that we'll be different. I think we're faster. We have a better skill set. I think we have more size and athleticism than we've ever had in my 2 previous years. I think that our defense will dictate what we do offensively, but we're going to have an opportunity to go and do some different things defensively, as running and jump and trapping. We want to get deflections and steals, and then we want to run to score. And we have that capability this year with this year's roster.
Coaches always talk about toughness and culture. I felt like your team truly embodied that in a special game a year ago. You were down 32 points, and this team came back and won the game. You don't see that very often. What was the message, and how much is your team, how much do they use that just to build upon, and what does it say for this team?
I think last year was last year, but while it was happening to you, it wasn't fun. Sure, the comeback was fun, and finally winning the game was fun. But while you're going through it, and I don't recommend being down 32 at half. But at the same point in time, we weren't playing well. You got to give SMU credit. We talked at halftime. It was probably these guys will probably agree, a spirited, conversation, and we weren't playing well, and I challenged them, and we had, they had an unbelievable competitive spirit, and we came, back on the court, and I within the first 2 minutes, the momentum just changed, and then obviously throughout the third period, things went our way, and once we got into the fourth period. It did not matter what I called offensively. I knew it was going to work. I knew every shot that we were taking. I just felt like, okay, that's a bucket. That's a bucket. That's a bucket. And we just strung along one possession to the next, and did something that we'll never forget.
Michaela, he used the term spirited in locker room discussion, but describe your head coach and what he does for you guys. I mean, because that's really special. You don't see that very often, so there is something there that you guys respond to him.
I would say, if I could use one word to describe Birdie, it would be passion. He definitely shows his passion in many ways, on the court, off the court, always making sure we're okay. And I would say with last year's team and this year's team, we've built a certain amount of trust in him that allows us to give us, our all towards him. And I think that showed last year, and that will show definitely this year.
I mean, obviously hard to sit out last year with the injury. What did you learn, one, about yourself, and what is going to make you a better player now that you're back on the court?
I definitely learned that I'm stronger than I thought. Obviously, that was a lot to go through. So it was definitely set me back mentally, but being able to overcome everything and be where I am today it just makes me more excited and just more hungry to be back and to start the season.
Tori, can you talk about Nyla Wilson's game and maybe what we should expect from her this season?
Sure, I think that, she's a scorer. She's super competitive. She plays both sides of the ball, but she's a tremendous asset. She was ranked 29th in the country. Really good athlete, but just a competitor. But she's going to have four of the people, with her on the floor that are just as good, if not better, which makes us, so dynamic as a team. So I'm super excited to have her be a part of this team, and her future is tremendously bright, along with the two to my left. Right now, with our roster, we have everyone coming back the following year. And to me, the most important thing is, in order to sustain that success, is to keeping everyone on this team here so that we could, have the same team the following year, and we just continue to grow the program. But I'm excited about Nyla. I'm excited about, these two as well. I mean, I think that when you look at, MJ's development from where she's been to what she did last year, she really came into her own in ACC basketball, and she increased her scoring by almost 10 or 11 points a game. And you look at Mimi, and Mimi was going to have a great year last year, and we expect the same from her this year. So I definitely have the dynamic duo to my left, but we have a lot of pieces back in Pittsburgh that we're certainly really excited about.
Michaela, you're not the first person under his tutelage that's made a big jump. There's something about his player development. And so can you speak to that development? And then also, what was the focus this offseason for this year?
So last year I came in not playing a minute of basketball. So just having that trust with Birdie and knowing that he genuinely wants the best for me and just trusting the process every single day, I allowed that to jumpstart my growth in games, practices, him challenging me, even on days I'm like, what is he talking about? It allowed me to grow into that person that I was last year, and now growing into a better position of being a leader and having to find my own in that position as well. And this offseason, I would say we worked on a lot of pace, being faster, getting my shot off faster, defense, because last year was a little bit shaky for me, but just really growing into that and being a better leader for younger people as well.
Megan Price, 3 Chicks in the Pod. Yesterday was National Coaches Day. Can you talk to us about your coaching staff, your supporting coaching staff, and what they mean to y'all's program?
You want to go? I would say this is basically a family away from my family, because I'm from Alaska, so I'm pretty far from home. And I would generally say from my visit to today, I've felt loved by every single one of them. I can come to them whenever I have a problem. I can joke with them, even if they might not have a smile on their face. If I don't have a smile on my face, they make sure it appears in one way or another. So I generally feel like this is my family away from my family.
I would agree to that. It's definitely a family atmosphere. We have trust in them, they have trust in us. There's a mutual respect both ways, so we just kind of flow.
Speaking of the family piece, can you talk to us about Coach's Italian chicken? I'm sorry, famous Italian chicken is how it was
Apparently,
done.
in the last interview, they forgot, and they only said I made packaged hot dogs during our cookout.
No, I've been told famous.
I wasn't aware that that's what the chicken that we were talking about. I did not have it at the cookout.
That's disappointing.
I had the hot dogs though.
The hot dogs were good though.
They were.
They were good. I will say that.
So
They were. I didn't make them, but I grilled them to perfection.
I can't speak on the chicken.
Well, we'll have to do a redo.
So I'm just gonna say, it's not so famous if the players aren't eating it.
Well, we're talking 2 of them. Everybody else
okay.
is
Sample size.
and the
Sample
staff.
size, okay.
So,
To be fair, it was a pool day. When you come out the pool, you're used to a nice hot dog, not
Okay.
chicken. But we'll have to take you up on
the
that.
size of the chicken was pretty. It was large. It was a big portion. Yes.
Michaela, you mentioned that you're from Alaska, and you were definitely a first in all my years of coaching, and now in this role. become aware that hunts bears.
Yes.
How did this come about? And can you walk us through just a typical experience of hunting a bear?
Okay. I mean, it's pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of sitting, being silent, and being silent until basically the bear comes along and you take your shot. But I would say I came about it because my dad, he's military, so like he had to find other ways to explore that. And so he's put us in a lot of outdoor activities like fishing, hunting, four-wheeling, you name it. And I would say hunting is just one of those peaceful things he really enjoys, so we did that a lot.
I mean, black bear, a little bit.
Oh yeah, we got it on our wall. Yeah.
I'm not gonna mess with
Big
you.
bear. I've seen the pictures.
Okay.
Big bear. Not little. Like you would run from the big bear.
I'm running if I see her with a gun.
You and me both. That's fair.
Amia, what's the most special item that you have customized, and why is it special to you? And just talk us through that talent that you have.
I would say probably shoes mostly because I wear them every day, and I like to customize shoes for my friends and stuff too. So like just seeing. No. None of these didn't get me right
My
yet.
shoes are
Now
more-
that I know.
You know I just like white.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I can get you right though. That's really right.
You may get a lot more offers coming in after everybody sees this. Tori, now you're going in your third season. Talk to me about what makes the coaches in the ACC so special.
Well, their experience. I mean, when you look at it, a lot of winning has taken place throughout the ACC, or other programs that they've had, and other conferences, and so you're going to get some of these best each and every single day, and so the preparation is endless, and a lot of sleepless nights, and I know for a fact that I'm not the only one doing that. I know that my colleagues in the league are doing the same thing, and so you just try to find your niche, and you try to just be just a little bit better, 1 point better than them. And so, we expect that we're going to get everybody's best each and every single night, and I'm sure that they think the same.
Ladies, we talked about you guys have 10 new faces on the roster this year. Give us that one player that you think a couple of weeks in, everyone's going to be talking about.
I think one player that's going to surprise some people is Macy. Macy brings a lot of heart to this team that in tough times, when I hear her voice, I'm just like, I just got to push a little bit more. And she could not play. She could be the most skillless person, and she will just give you that heart. And I love that about her, is her character. And she shows up every single day.
I agree with that. I also feel like Jada is also gonna surprise some people. I feel like she's like a silent killer. Like she works really hard and she does like big things in like the most unexpected moments. I feel like that really just.
Tori, I asked this yesterday. It's a tough one, so think this through. Who in the ACC of coaches do you think gives out the best Halloween candy?
Oh, Jeff Walt. I mean, just because of his character, because you probably will never know what you're going to get. So I think the surprise element would be one for me.
And this is the last question for all of you, and it'll be a one-word answer. And we'll start on the end with Michaela. When I say ACC women's basketball, what does that mean to you?
Exciting.
Fight.
Winning.
Pitt women's basketball, thank you so much for your time this morning. Good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.